Hi everyone, and welcome along to today's Raspberry Pi Jamwich, which is called biosonification. So you might want to know what biosonification actually is. And this is a process where you detect electrical signals and it's usually from a plant or something like that. And you convert those electrical signals into sound or tunes. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And you're going to need a couple of things if you want to do it as well. So one thing you're going to need is the Raspberry Pi Pico, and I'm using the Raspberry Pi Pico 2 today. And you'll also need the Raspberry Pi 5. You'd probably be able to use some other Raspberry Pi, but that's what I'm using today. So it's all set up for the Pi 5. Now, another thing that you'll need is this sensor device. And as you can see here, it's very reasonably priced. And what it has that some of the other sensors don't have is not only the device itself, the capacitive electrical signal device, but also a sensor device that's attached to it. And it comes with a couple of jumper cables. So, yep, very reasonably priced, and I could recommend that. And so I'll get on and show you the setup that I've got. So here we go. I'll just make this a bit bigger. Right, I'll just head over and show it. Right, so here's my setup. And as you can see, I've got the device here all plugged in, and it's a bit got a bit of soil on it. As you put it into the soil with prongs. And then here you have the sensor part here, which is attached to the prongs via the two jumper cables that come with it. Now I'm going to need a few more jumper cables here to attach the sensor part to the Raspberry Pi Pico. And here's Pico, and as you can see, it's plugged in with this green cable to ground, and also the purple cable to providing electricity, so 3 volts, and the blue cable is attached to the sensor pin itself, which I'll show you the code in a minute. And then the cable from here goes all the way around here and attaches to our Raspberry Pi 5, which is obviously plugged in to the mains and also here to the television that I've got. And so it's going to be using HDMI sound. And we've also got a keyboard and a mouse. So there's a couple of things that you'll also need to install. And as you can see, I've been having quite a lot of time sorting out exactly how to get the sound to come out of the HDMI. But what you will need is to install the Adafruit AMPI library, so you can get Pico to sense from the device. And you can also install some things from apps. So let's see what I installed. So you're going to be needing Fluid Synth, VMPK, Mido, but you'll have to install it's called Python 3-Mido, Python 3-RT MIDI, and PySerial. And you can also install AMPI via apt instead if you prefer. So let's get on with the next bits. So in your Raspberry config, you'll need to check that you're using pipe wire. So you can do that by coming to Advanced Options, Audio Config, and making sure here that you've got pipe wire. Okay. And if you change that, you will need to reboot. So when your Fluid Sits is all installed, it should show up here under sound and video. And you'll want to have that open if you're going to be using it. So you get this big GUI device here, and you can change a lot of settings. So it's quite nice. So in order to run it, we first have to run our measure water. Let's show you that. Measure water is very simple. You're just sensing on this pin, number 26, which is our blue cable. And as you can see, we're just printing the value of that. And we're also going to be using the Raspberry Pi 5. What was that called? Yes. So, which I've called Pico MIDI bridge. And this is a little bit more complicated, but not too difficult. You just need to work out your port that you're listening to the Pico on and output it to the QSense. And we're going to scale the value that comes back from the sensor so it's in a good scale so that we can hear it properly. And then we're just going to print it out and send it to the QSynth so we can hear it. Okay, so I'm going to put all of this code up on my GitHub, and I'll show you where that is in a bit. So first of all, we're going to need to run our measure water, and here we go. And you can see that we're getting back these numbers, and they're all the same. And the reason why they're all the same is because we're not plugged into anything here. This is not in any soil or anything. So I'm going to put it into the soil, and we should see that we're measuring some electrical signals. And indeed, we do see that. So we need to hold on. Right. Okay. Not everything is always perfect. I'm just trying to kill that process for a minute. Okay. Right. So we're going to run that process and then the MIDI scripts that we have. So run that process, and as it's collecting, we'll run our next instruction, which is the MIDI. And as you can hear, we're actually getting a note back. And okay, it's not the most beautiful sound because we've only got one sensor, but sometimes we get a timeout, but that doesn't happen very often. So that's something you could look into. And we're getting quite a similar note here. You can hear it's a bit higher and lower, and I'm just going to water the plant. And as you can hear, that changes the note quite a bit. And as the water goes down into the soil, the note starts getting higher again because there's less electrical signal. So that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed it, and you'll be able to find different ways to listen to your plants in future. So I'll just come back over here, and where have I gone? There. And so I just want to show you where the codes are going to be, and they'll be here on my GitHub site. And thanks very much for listening, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.